Good morning. It is 6:55 a.m. Pacific time on the 31st of March. Welcome to my trading journal. What you're looking at is the Jigsaw day trader platform. This is just trading on order flow only. There's no charts, no indicators, no oscillators, no moving averages, no Bollinger Bands or anything like that. It's just observing what's going on with basically the inside market, trying to respond accordingly. These are all fixed income products mostly, and over here we have the E-mini S&P all the way over here on the right. This is the 10-year here. This is the 5-year in the middle. This is the 30-year all the way over here on the left, and then all the way over here on the left is the Ultra Bond, which is symbol UB. This is ZB, this is ZF, this is ZN, and this is ES. You hear, those of you that are new, if you hear people refer to the ES, that's what they're talking about, the E-mini S&P. That's a future symbol. These are all futures products. Looking at the calendar really quickly, we've already had HPI come out, we've had Chicago PMI, and then we have the big one, which is consumer confidence, which comes out in about 3 minutes. It's been kind of a muted morning thus far. You can see just the range here. It's been that way since probably the last half hour or so. The overnights, let's look at the 10-year, it's probably a better indicator, but here's the overnight range. Why the overnight high is all the way up there, that doesn't make sense. So overnight lows down there and high in comparison to what we've seen over the last several days and weeks. That's pretty pedestrian. So we're expecting a range expansion at some point today. I'll have to keep an eye out for that. The overnight highs and lows, I mark that because those are part of my process, but in these markets now, I think that they've kind of been ignored, so I wouldn't really count on them as much as I have in the past. Just want to throw that out there. So we have, like I said, 2 minutes till the consumer confidence number comes out. Overnight action was pretty much sideways, as you can tell by the profile. Just sort of opened, kind of went up, and just started slumping just recently. Otherwise, it was kind of had more of an upward trajectory to the market. Excuse me. As far as longer term, we got a swing high here at March 15th, March 12th swing high. Again, these are taken with a grain of salt. I think these the levels that are indicated on longer term charts, just because of the volatility that's going on in this market, I think that people aren't really adhering to traditional traditional signs, or traditional levels like you would in a more slower market, I guess. A smarter market, a market that's less panicked. So you got 1 minute till this comes out. I'm expecting a reaction. I had a pretty decent reaction to the Chicago PMI. I say decent, I mean we probably fell in 5, 6 ticks and then just got bid right back up. So the context, I can definitely tell that as far as a macro context, that these markets are definitely responding to what's happening over here in the ES. I just noticed we were pushing the lows previously, and I got no response from these guys, and then all of a sudden it shot up off the lows and they sold in. You can see it right here, about 3 or 4 or 5 ticks over here in the 30-year. So that's good. Hopefully that that continues, it kind of gives us a good indication or a good indicator when we're picking up clues here. Something to rely on. So it is 7 a.m. Didn't see much of a reaction here in the fixed income guys, but maybe it doesn't come out yet. I don't know. But we're getting a nice push over here in the ES. I'm checking the calendar right now to see if we have any data come out yet. Might be faster to check Twitter too. Let's see. Not seeing anything. Okay, so here we go. 120 on consumer confidence, which was at the high end of the range. It wasn't quite what we had last month, but consumers are still confident, I guess. Interesting. I'm definitely not confident what's going on in the economy, so I wonder who they're talking to here. Probably people with landlines. That's what I'm always afraid of on these surveys. So anyway, that's good news for the consumer. Didn't get much of a reaction here. Could be kind of a latent move. We're seeing a bit of a sell down here in the 30-year, which is kind of what you'd expect in a slower market. Once you get into the highs, you expect a bit of a push down. It's kind of all I have at the moment. Not really digging what's going on here in the bonds. They're way, way off the highs. You can see in the Ultra Bond. You can see in the 30-year. At that moment they were below the point of control. Now they're starting to push higher. So that's good. I was going to say that the notes are all kind of pushing the highs, and I might have to buy the 30 or just so on the, because it needs to catch up. Just kind of what happened yesterday. We had that push all the way up till the high of the day, and then right around the 7:30. You usually see a turn. I've noticed this. Not usually, but it's enough to, at least for me, it's enough to be remarkable, is that you see a turn between 7 and 8 a.m. my time every day. Not every day, but often enough. Let's just see if the 30-year can catch up to the 5 and the 10. Whoops. Looks like the bonds might be leading the way today. And that guy just got slapped in the face right there. Looking for more of a sustained push. There you see the 5-year, 10-year starting to push up. They might have to start getting through the highs, but look at this. Look at this. Look at the Ultra Bond selling down. Notes are pushing up. This correlation's broken. That sucks. I'm going to go ahead and pause the video and then I'll come back. Okay, so we're back at 7:07. 10 years up here pushing into this area, and we got a bit of a profile step developing, and we've seen rejection here at multiple times previously today. 1, 2, 3, 4. This would be the 5th time we get a shot at this level. It looks like sellers are starting to step up. $500 in the queue. I think I'm not going to get filled unless I pay up for this one. If they start tapping down into 25 half, I think the only way to do it is to pay up. Definitely expecting range expansion. I don't know if it's going to happen on the upper side or the bottom side. I mean, obviously we're at the higher end of the range, so you would think it'd be more likely it would go higher. I think it's going to have to be 26. 30 years starting to push down. Crap. Problem is I'm going to have to, don't know if I'm wrong until we get up into 28, 28 half. Clean all this up and see. Immediately went about 500 up. I don't really appreciate that. You can definitely see how yeah, see, I could have had 26 half. You could see how the these guys are all responding to, as soon as the ES drops in a couple ticks, it starts to push higher. Yeah, this is that slow grind higher. Shit. Look at that, just stacking up. Probably could have been a little bit more patient on this. Let's see what happens with this offer here. Ooh, almost lifted the whole thing. You got the ES making new highs. Gotta see this thing fall back in. Yeah, I think they're going to push this thing higher. Yep, that whole push up, we didn't even get this thing to fall back in. It looks to me like the buyers are going to just grind this thing higher. maybe we can yeah, this sucks. Wow. Getting run over right now. Man, can't even get this thing. Nothing is hitting down. Definitely pressures on the buy side. So much for responding to the ES. That just went away very quickly. Damn it, I hate to take a 4-tick loss on this. I was really hoping this would drop in. Still pushing higher. Look at that 30-year. Just not falling in at all. $30 or 5-year just dropped in. Just went off her. Watch this thing will fall right back into my strike price. Son of a bitch. Let's see if we can... What the fuck? Look at that shit. Let's see if we can jump in here and try to ride this wave higher a little bit. Not a big fan of just flipping around like that, but if the situation calls for it, you kind of have to just rock with it, I think. Man. Don't like that the Ultra Bond is below the yellow line over here. I can give us a couple more seconds. Five-year, 10-year pushing higher. Trying to. Just can't get anything going over here in the 30-year. Come on. God, look at this profile step that's developing here. Sellers are just suppressing this. Won't let it go. All right, take the stupid 1 tick. Now watch, it'll just blow through and go higher. 5-year and the 10-year is just going to drag this thing higher. See? Okay, well, let's see. Time to regroup, I think. In the hole a little bit, but no biggies. Plenty of opportunities to make it up. I think, like I said, we'll keep an eye on that turn that's going to happen. I know it is. Yesterday, I actually bought the 10-year about 4 ticks below the high, and then I sold it 2 ticks, I think, somewhere around that. 2 ticks before the high of the day, and then this thing just fell all the way in and traded all the way down and closed at the low of the day. And that happened right around, I'm going to kind of look at a chart here, but I think that happened right around the turn between 7:30 and 8, and it just plummeted all the way down. A couple little pullbacks, and just closed right almost 3 or 4 ticks off the low. I think I'd much rather just try to hold off, be patient, wait another 20 minutes or so, 20, 30 minutes, and see if we can work a short and try to get this thing to drop back into the point of control. This very much is like an oscillating product. Doesn't mean it's always going to close on the point of control, but when it does get really extended, it likes to come back, at least come back to it. Much like yesterday and a lot of the days prior. So with that in mind, I always like to try to fade or sell it back down to the point of control or buy it back up to the point of control, as opposed to trying to take continuation trades higher. Those are the days I usually get crushed. So yeah, I'm gonna get some more coffee. I'll be right back. Okay, we're back here, and it's 7:30. I was just sitting here talking to myself for the last couple of minutes because I forgot to restart this puppy, but we got this push back up into 28. I went ahead and got filled at 28. You can see this pretty decent profile step. You got 11,000 here and 700 here. Pretty good size on the offer. We'll see what happens. Hopefully they can get down, push this thing, start pushing this thing back down. Like I said, I think it's been rejected several times previously. Doesn't mean much. You could see the 30 years was trading all the way down in the bottom, basically the lower part of the value area, and the Ultra Bond broke lows, I think, just recently, or pretty damn close to it. It's just kind of odd that this is sort of a lot of that behavior that I was talking about yesterday, as far as just the market's not moving in a correlated manner. So I really don't want to see this thing go bid at 28.5. If that happens, I think these guys are just giving up. Shit, looks like it's gonna. Wouldn't be surprised if they pop it higher and then just sell it back down. Kind of see that stuff all the time, especially right around this hour, this time. I'm I'm almost positive that's going to happen. I kind of feel it. That said, I'm not going to sit through the whole thing. I'd rather just take a small loss. Take a small loss and let it pop up and then just trade it back down. Normally in this scenario, I would consider buying the 30-year to see if it'll catch up, but it's not behaving normally. What you'd like to see in this scenario, the way I have this set up, the reason why I have the Ultra Bond all the way over here, and then the 30-year here, 5-year here, and the 10-year is because when they're all working in sync, you should see a nice little slanted line, a sloping line from the upper left to the lower right. So Ultra Bond should be leading, followed by the 30-year and then the 5-year, and so it should look like something like this, but it doesn't. See, these guys are all pushing the highs, and we're still basically stuck down here at the point of control. Doesn't mean the 30-year can't just rush up higher, but it's just not guaranteed right now. So I was in at 28. We're only trading at 28.5. Basically kind of falling in right now. And the reason why I pulled that off is because I don't feel like sitting through. I'd rather just take a small loss than sit through, you know, watching this thing go up 3 or 4 or 5 ticks and then hoping it drops back in. And like, it's so exhausting to do that. I'd rather just pay up and pay the money and be done with it. And that's it. We just could have had a scratch there. Got some pretty decent size that came down. And that's the other thing, is you can always get back in if you want to. So look at, we're 740. Have that European close at 830. Let's see if we get a turn and maybe this thing will fall back in. We've already had range expansion to the upper side, albeit it's only a couple ticks. But I would not be surprised if this fell in today, especially once the ES keeps pushing higher and pushing higher and pushing higher. Right now that correlation's completely broken. Pretty much this market's broken. I don't know why I'm even trying to trade it, to be honest. Yeah, why am I trading this market? So what you'd want to see for the people that are new, ES is pushing the highs. These things should all be pushing the lows right now. That's normal. Should be pushing the lows. The fact that everything's pushing the highs right now, not good. I mean, something's wrong. Your buyers are just absorbing all the selling here at this level. And that's not to say that sellers can't eventually overwhelm buyers, but they're just soaking it all up. Yeah. Don't really want to, I think I'm going to just kind of just save my bullets and cut my losses here today. This is not making any sense to me. Definitely have buyers just, or sellers just holding down all the buying. And we're starting to get up. I mean, excuse me, the other way around. Buyers are just overwhelming sellers here. But like I said, they should be pushing lows right now. So something, they're just not buying this rally in equities. So 26.27 was definitely rejected here in the 30-year prior. Pretty hardcore. Looks like they're trying to reject it again. The more a level is tested, it seems to me, the more a level is tested, the more apt it is to eventually break. This level has been tested several times this morning. Love if this dropped all the way back down into 16, 17. But we'll trade what we see. Ultra bond's starting to bid back up. Need this thing to start leading. This thing definitely needs to lead the 30-year ultra bond. If the ultra bond starts going higher, then it's time to just exit this puppy. So it looked earlier like the 30-year was definitely responding to the ES, and ES is starting to fall back in now. Damn, how much longer am I going to hang in this thing? 50 up, good. All right, immediately start tacking down. I like that. It's just, this is just really tough price action to read. It doesn't sustain. It's really flipping around. Today might not be the day. Give us a little bit more time. Shit. Look at the fucking ultra bond. Fuck. Come on, push it down now. Can't give this too much more time. We had everything going there. ES started pushing higher. These guys were pushing down. Like, it's just the ideal situation. You still can't get a push lower. I'm out of this thing. If I can get out, motherfucker. It's just really tough to read today too. Come on, push this thing down. Fuck. Let's take a 2-tick loss on this. See, look at the 5 years way off the highs, excuse me. 10-year still lingering there. This is just, yeah, I should have to go back and review the tape, but I wonder if this was like this in the very beginning and I just kind of ignored it because I wanted to be here doing this today. That definitely happens sometimes. Just sort of impose myself on the market as opposed to just responding to what's happening. So this big bid just popped up in the 10-year over here. And immediately we go offer at 25. That's fucking rad. Jesus. So 750, I'm pretty sure this high is going to hold at this point. See what happens to this this bid here. They started attacking down into it. Yeah, see, they're already almost went off for a 24. I just got into that thing a little too early. Oof. Almost took that whole thing. Damn. This is it. This is the turn. Kind of paid up for that one. We'll see what happens though. This thing could certainly fall in. That's exactly what we'd be looking for. Especially if sellers manage to get through, manage to take out that entire bid. I was up over 1,000 at one point. Took out 28. They're going to take out 27.5. Or I could have just got suckered. I still think the high of the day holds. Look at all this volume that's printed up here. Yeah, I might still be in this, still sitting here simply because I've had a couple of small losses this morning and I feel like I could just make it up real quick. Otherwise, I don't think I'd even still be, I think I'd be more of a observer at this point. Because I just think something's kind of wrong here. Look at all that volume. Look at all that 15,000 here at 28. Gotta just kind of pop this level here. If we get down below 26, I think it'll definitely just fall all the way back into the point of control. I gotta run downstairs real quick. I'll be right back. So we definitely got to get through 26. That's where that would basically be support, and that's where we were bought up last time. You can see there's some size down here, just kind of waiting. Still, might be a little premature for the turn, just because I don't know. You'd figure that people that traded the overnight European session would be kind of working out of their positions here right around this time. So you can see as this thing falls in, the bid drops away. I don't know if they're taking it, just pulling it up here, trying to be more aggressive. Very well could be the case. This is completely different context than yesterday. Yesterday we had that, it was just sustained, very systematic buying and selling one way and the other. Today is completely different. It's a little bit tougher read today. Not really squared up to it. Look at that fucking 30-year. I scratched that thing and it's already down to the point of control. I knew it would fall in, but like I said, those levels, the more they get tested, more opportunity there is for it to fail. So far it's held several times. Got to get through 26, half 26. If we do that, I'm super confident we'll get all the way down to the bottom of this range. That bid just pulled off. That's exactly what you want to see. That was 1,900 something, pulled off. If we take this offer here and start attacking down, then I'm in a good spot. You got the 30-year pushing all the way down through its previous range. It's actually right at its previous range. If that gets down into 1213, be pretty happy. Look at that, 700 up. I love it. Immediately start pushing, attacking down. Excellent. It's exactly what you want to see. Keep an eye on the 5-year. So 30 years attacking down, good. This is right where support. Definitely want to be cognizant of that. It immediately dropped away to like 400. That's good. That's about what's, those are probably your real orders at that level. Come on, keep it offer. Let's go. Shit. Come on. You can expect some back and forth here. Just got to keep it sustained selling. 5 years good. Damn, that bid was just... Five years gonna push down, good. So this is not pulling away anymore. 80 down into it. Still not pulling away. We'll see what happens, but I might have to take this off at 26. It's not looking good. Shit, everybody else saw the same thing I did. Only 230 in the queue. Let's see if I can get filled down there. There we go. Okay, well. Was that 4 ticks? Not bad. Ideally, I'd love to see this thing pop up back up into highs and sell it back down. Got European close coming up here pretty quick. We'll see what happens. I'm not going to engage in the middle of the profile, especially on a day when I can't really get a good read on it. So I'll just pause the video. Okay, I'm back. It's 9:20 a.m. Pacific time. We actually, just kind of recapping what I missed, I'm just looking at a chart here. It looks like we actually fell in on the 10-year down to, very briefly down to 23, which was the previous point of control, and then we just shot right back up. And then just recently, in the last couple of minutes, this thing broke through the highs. I got a little distracted doing other things, so I didn't really see it, but didn't really see the price action. But it looks like now at this point we got all these products are finally starting to push into the highs, so we have a little bit of correlation back. Excuse me. And it looks like, I don't know if that had something to do. This last push higher was basically both these products broke and just started marching higher. At the same time. I'm expecting the 30-year to drop in back down to basically what would be support. So down to 1 or evens. It looked like that's what's starting to happen, so I'm just this is like a momentum trade to try to see if that continues down into this area. Scalp a couple ticks out of the middle of this range. It's pretty common for these products to push or get a surge higher and then just kind of drop back into the previous level where they were trading. So we had 88 down, couldn't even take that offer. Immediately we had 30 up and then 40 something on the bid, or 30 on the bid. Don't want to just pull one tick out of this, but that usually is not a good sign. Wasn't even really anticipating trading anymore today, just because of context is a little iffy. I better put something up here just in case this thing pops up on me. So that little sweep down, 4-tick sweep down, looks like the momentum kind of stopped on that, unless it picks up here. The 10-year fell in, that's good. Like I said, support's at 1 or evens. If we can get 3 ticks out of this, I'd be pretty happy. That said, it needs to start going. I'm not digging this back and forth right now. And the ultra bond's pushing back up higher. Like I said, you'd expect a little bit more of a pullback. Pretty much just being a scratch trader today. I think it might have something to do with the ES kind of breaking down a little bit right now. Should have scratched this thing while I had the chance. It kind of sucks because I really need to let this get above the previous high to really know if I'm wrong. Then again, the momentum that I was looking for is gone. And that was the basis for entry. So I got to keep that in mind as this works through here. The momentum doesn't pick back up. There's the ultra bond going, that's good. Come on, keep it pushing. We're just got to scratch this thing. Ultra bond's pushing, that's good. It's really the only indication I have in the 30-year today. ES has got to turn around. Another scratch. As soon as that happens, this thing will fall in. All right, I think just mentally, I think I'm done today. I'm kind of over this. I don't even know what the totals are, but I'm probably about even. So you got 61 on offer. See, they did the same thing there at 2. Yep, here it goes. That happens a lot. Too much. Anyway, this has been a long video, I think. And I will see if I can whack it up, edit it today, and post it this evening, maybe. Yeah. Anyway, that's all. I'll catch you guys tomorrow.